Sponsored by Johnny Car's House of Cars. Cars for cash, no questions asked. Should be asked. Doesn't rhyme. Can we do another take? What do you mean, no?
Hello again, my people. Come, let us gather and pay homage to all that is gaming related with another trip into the vault.
The game's vault, that is. I'm not just luring you to your doom. I'm your host, Chris Johnson, the Maverick of Mirth, the Captain of Crafting, the expansion pack of emergent gameplay. Sure, that makes sense. On today's GVTV, we will be speaking to special guest Inel Tomlinson. We're going to catch up on the latest gaming news. But first, as always, a word from our sponsor.
Hey, it's Johnny Cars from Johnny Cars House of Cars. How you doing? You looking for a new set of wheels? Who isn't, right? Come on down to the House of Cars and pick yourself out a sweet ride. And look at this retro beauty over here. Classic 1949 Mercury 8. Only one owner, some taxi guy named Gus, lost her in a poker game. This car is fast, reliable, really durable. Okay, but it minor body damage and the suspension's taking a beating, but hey, you should see the other guy. But maybe you actually got a few bucks. What about this creme de la creme over here? An Ocelot F620, 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. 5 freaking seconds. Perfect for those times when you need to avoid hanging around too long. You get me? Just avoid the hills. Turbocharged with twin cam inline 4 engine. Only one previous owner who may or may not be dead. I don't ask questions. I just make the deals. Maybe you're the outdoorsy type. You can cruise the world in this 1998 Humvee ATV 8.2 liter turbo diesel. This vehicle hauls. Just a thing for you alpha males out there, you know what I'm saying? Previous owner claims it once raced on the moon. Hey, I make no judgments. I just want to sell you the car. So come on down to Johnny Car's House of Cars and get yourself a car that don't crap out. I think we got it.
Thanks, Johnny. That's Johnny Cars from Johnny Car's House of Cars. Cash for cars, no questions asked. Time now, though, for the gaming news. That was perfect! Team, well done. That was great. Not too much, not too little. That was the perfect balance. Great graphic. Yes, we finally nailed it. It's just, I kind of miss the flames. You know, like the flaming news. It's sort of sat right with me. First up, the biggest story of this week is not remotely fun, but it is fundamental, and it is important that we talk about these things, because if you don't, it perpetuates and continues to happen. Since we celebrate everyone who's a part of gaming culture, we need to talk about it. Activision Blizzard has been sued by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing for numerous allegations and proven cases of harassment and abuse toward female employees. The lawsuit against the publishing giant was based on 2+ years of internal investigations and individual complaints, with several instances being far from fleeting or forgivable, and clearly tracing back to what has been described as a frat boy culture in the workplace. On Wednesday, Activision Blizzard employees worldwide held a peaceful protest in the form of a company-wide walkout to draw the attention of the higher-ups and shareholders and ensure that discussions will begin to cement practices that avoid such unpleasantness in the future. Abuse, harassment, heck, even gatekeeping of any kind is not acceptable, and we here at Games Vault stand with the folks over at Activision Blizzard who simply want the bare minimum: a decent wage, respect for their well-being, and a safe work environment. Japanese developer Asobi Games are looking for level designers for an upcoming 3D action game. According to the job application post that they submitted to LinkedIn, they need someone who can provide great tempo and creative situations, with creativity and humour being traits that will propel you closer to getting the gig. This sounds an awful lot like their last 3D action game, the PS5's inbuilt platformer Astro's Playroom. That cutesy fun romp provided a long afternoon of colourful distractions and homages to the brand's decades-long history, showcasing the evolution of its hardware along the way. Astro's Playroom even served as an amazing tech demo for what the PS5 DualSense controller is capable of, and oh, wouldn't you know it, Team Asobi revealed through PlayStation back in June that their next game would be focusing on showcasing and experimenting with the DualSense controller. Certainly sounds like we may be seeing Astro and his fellow bots again a lot sooner than the release of the PS6. And finally, the team behind Star Wars Squadrons has revealed their next project. Last week during EA Play, the trailer dropped for the long-rumoured remake of the 2008 survival horror classic, Dead Space. Utilising the Frostbite engine, the folks at Motive have apparently remade the game from the ground up, with Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy-style improvements, additions, and features from the sequels being present in the remake, just like the 2016 Ratchet & Clank. Okay, that's 2 comparisons to mascot-led platformers, and I'm not sure that really fits Dead Space, you know? Maybe if Isaac spins around and collects shiny gems from every necromorph he dismembers. Motive, call me if you need inspiration. Oh wait, no, never mind. Turns out they've utilised the services of the original Dead Space trilogy's user experience director, Dino Ignacio, who last Thursday tweeted, "It's been such a privilege to consult and advise the EA Motive team on a franchise I hold near and dear to my heart." Well, it's nice to know that some of Visceral Games' original flavour is being overseen by a member of the OG team. Dead Space is due for a currently unknown release date on PC and current generation Xbox and PlayStation consoles. And that's the news. Now you're fully prepped. Our guest today is a true Renaissance man. He's an actor, voiceover artist, television and radio personality, stand-up comedian, Twitch streamer. He's even one of the co-presenters of the BBC Sounds podcast Press X to Continue. Please welcome to the Games Vault, Inel Tomlinson. How important is it to you to make new viewers feel welcome, and what tips do you have for folks for hooking new viewers in when they arrive?
Do you know what it is? Like, I always have like a vibe in my streams. It's like a vibe that I bring like naturally anyway, but like it's a vibe that I want people to kind of embrace and kind of understand straight away. So I don't want people to just be in and like, oh, what's this? I want people to, as soon as they come to the channel, they're like, oh, what's this? And then it's up to them at this point after the song whether they want to stay or leave. It's like, so like, I like singing. I'm always singing and humming, and like music plays like a huge part in my life. And so like if someone's going to share their community with me and their viewers and their friends, then I want to make them feel as welcome as possible to come into my place as well.
So you've begun developing your own game. What can you tell us, and how have you found the process so far?
So hard. I can't lie. I have such a huge respect for any game developers. I've been using primarily Dreams on the PS4 and the PS5, which is made by Media Molecule, which is a really cool software tool to let you make your own games. I've also dabbled in a bit of Unity and Unreal Engine as well. Recently, Nintendo's even come up with their own one, Game Builder Garage, that I've been dipping my toe into. I'll go back to when I was younger. A lot of if you wanted to code your own video games, you had to have a PC, and PCs were very expensive back then. And you had to literally teach yourself how to code, like, and you had to know that stuff. And so like the barrier to entry was super high. Whereas now, as I said, like with some of the software tools now, there's literally tutorials all over the place. YouTube, you can go on YouTube. There's a tutorial how to do anything on YouTube. And a lot of these engines, like Unreal, like Unity, they're free to use.
Not just making them, are you though? You're talking about them on the reg, because last year, Press X to Continue. Segue, I know. Press X to Continue kicked off on BBC Sounds. You're one of the panelists on the show, talking about video games on the regular on there. But it was a show that was put together during the 2020 pandemic. So what challenges did that present to getting this show on the road?
I've worked with Stefan Power, who is the main host of Press X to Continue before. We've worked on the same projects before, but we'd never had a chance to meet properly. And like we've wanted to kind of create like a gaming podcast for the BBC, because the BBC just didn't have one, and it was like, it'd be really cool to have one to kind of represent gaming, because gaming is such a huge aspect of my life and so many other people's, that it feels like an oversight not to have one. Because of the pandemic, we had to kind of record everything from home, including like the guests that we had on and the other contributors as well. We all had to kind of make this podcast over Zoom. And it posed a number of different challenges, because we wanted to play all these games together. We wanted to kind of hash it out like in a proper round table, all of us in a room talking about the games we're playing, maybe playing the games at the same time, sort of thing. Everyone's like different level of gamer. Like, as long as you play games, you're a gamer, right? But like, not everybody's got all this like massive knowledge about games, and we want it to kind of be as inclusive as possible. It doesn't matter what games you play. Have you played it before? It doesn't matter if you've played this before. It doesn't matter. We're just here to celebrate games, talk about games, and have a good time.
Lastly, are there any gaming franchises as a performer you would love to dive into?
Do you know what? I would love to be the first like main black protagonist for a Final Fantasy game. We've had black characters in Final Fantasy games before, but they're side characters. The story's not about them. To me, Final Fantasy has always been about magic, fantasy, and technology. What better place to set it than somewhere that is like London, but in the future, with a black protagonist named Inel? Come on.
Massive thanks to Inel for joining us there for that good old Q&A. Inel will be back later on to play 7th Planet Pick. Now, a little while back, we decided to go old school and start an online competition anyone could enter, even the newbies, choosing the retro game Snake over on our website and opened up the floor to all comers. There is still time to send in entries. Let us know your high scores so we can add them toward the blessed leaderboard. For everything you need to know to get your slither on, go to nexi.tv and click on Games Vault to take part. I mean, you could even be a prize winner. The winner of the coveted Golden Turd Trophy. Yeah, the Golden Turd. Woo! Can't believe I'm a grown man and you're getting me to say Golden Turd every week. This next segment is somewhat unique and requires a different kind of introduction. Over the past few weeks, we've asked you to send in photos of your retro gaming tech, old consoles, beloved games from yesteryear. Best way to do it, by the way, is over on Twitter, GamesVaultTV, or post it to your Instagram and tag us, GamesVaultTV. Yeah. The images have been curated into a gallery by the gallery curator, who you're about to meet. Now, I have to warn you, he is a little, strange. Please enjoy. For the connoisseurs amongst you, those who take their gaming seriously, we acknowledge that we in the Retro Gaming Gallery sometimes choose our exhibits with an eye more towards terror than technique. But then, are we not all dancers in the macabre mamba of gaming oblivion? Aren't we? Take our next exhibit. Come with us as we stroll through this definitely real set that is not being rendered in a different engine than the world we currently exist in. The 5th dimension, some might say. Oh wait, wrong parody. Look at this. Trapped in the past, as if encased in amber, Groovy Chick is still playing the PlayStation 2. Not the oldest console in the shed, but is certainly the sharpest looking PlayStation 2 on the screen right now. Bonus points for playing Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Somebody had to. Incredible, don't you think? Don't worry, none of the paintings will be set on fire. This is not a cigarette. Why am I holding it? Look at this. And speaking once again of super monkeys, but not of their balls, Ink Monkey X on Twitter, aka the infamous Tony Addis, has unearthed a cavalcade of console components. Observe, a life lived throughout mostly the 90s. A collection of hand-me-downs and I've just founds. And also a very messy windowsill. Tidy it up, Tony. Tidy it up. Thank you once again for joining us in the Retro Gaming Gallery. Oh, it's a AA battery. My Game Boy Color is empty and I'm trying to source a second one so I can play some Bubble Ghost when the time is right. I loves me some Bubble Ghost. Time now to catch up with Inel once more for our 7th Planet Pick. You've made it. You're on a voyage to the stars, sailing toward the edge of our solar system. You will, unfortunately, have a lot of time to kill. So, what game, or small collection of games, do you bring with you to pass the time?
First game, Incredible Crisis on the PlayStation 1. This game is absolutely fantastic. It's basically about it's a small Japanese family of the dad, mom, grandma, the son, and the daughter. And grandma's gonna cook the family a meal tonight. Oh, that's nice. After everyone's goes about their day, so like kids go to school, dad goes to work, mum goes off like some general stuff throughout the day, and it's like, oh, that's nice, that's nice. But what happens is it's an absolute nightmare to get back home for everybody. So for the father, the building collapses. He gets rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, but then he falls out the back of an ambulance. Then he has an affair with a lady on the fairground. Meanwhile, his wife gets caught up in a bank robbery when she goes to a bank. She accidentally finds herself in the vault of the bank. Then she has to escape because the bank robbers are coming after her. She's skiing down a mountain. And then to top that off, the daughter is getting caught up with aliens and she's having to save the planet from aliens because aliens have come down to Earth and are destroying the city. Meanwhile, the little son, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid's been shrunk to an ant-sized level, and he's stuck in a garden, and he has to get out of the garden, but then a little puddle is like a huge lake, and he has to cross that lake. All this to get back home to grandma. It's an amazing game, and it's a really fun. It's basically a game full of mini games. Every level is a little mini game on how to get the family member through a certain trial. Hilarious.
You have all the time in the world to play Incredible Crisis, except there's one more obstacle. Your ship has crashed. Pull tractor beam like into the center of the 7th planet at the edge of our solar system. You are now stuck within its moist crevices. You can call for help and ask for one person, real or fictional, to come and save you. Who do you pick?
Oh, real off. Oh, fictional Blade.
Okay.
Specifically, Wesley Snipes. I know we're not dealing with vampires, but the sword skills are so good, and he's so badass that I feel like anyone's gonna save me and rescue me in any sort of situation. Blade / Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, in his Blade costume, is on his way to save you.
With his Demolition Man hair. Yeah.
This Demolition Man hair. But unfortunately, I'm so sorry to say this, Inel, Blade's ship has crashed as well. Wesley Snipes is now stuck on the 7th planet with you. So here, it's the coup de grace. Here's where we bring everything together. How does Incredible Crisis help you and Wesley Snipes survive?
Oh, easy. Because in Incredible Crisis, we've already survived everything. Did you not hear me tell you the synopsis of the game? I'm missing out at half of the things that go on. I didn't even tell you what happens to the dog. Exactly. We're already prepared. Incredible Crisis has given us given us the training me and Wesley Snipes need in order to survive. And then if we get too stressed, we can give each other massages. It's cool.
Hey, it's me again, Johnny Cars from Johnny Cars House of Cars and all-you-can-eat shrimp buffet. Look what we got over here. It's a Blue Falcon. This thing is for the passionate racers and championship chasers out there. It traverses farmland, castle walls, freaking rainbows. Just don't go off-road and avoid turtle shells. Only one previous owner, unspecified in the paperwork, but was either a plumber, a princess, a lizard, or this fucking thing. Batman Mobile! A genuine bona fide superhero souped up ride and looking for a buyer. Only one previous owner, deceased. AC is top of the line, perfect for a driver wearing just like so much leather. It's got grapple hooks, ejector seats, sat nav built specifically for trekking underground bases, giant plants, and glowy green participation trophies. Can turn into a tank at the touch of a button, but don't focus on that too much, you hear? If you focus on the tank part too much, it will negatively impact your experience. And last but certainly not past its prime is this flame-spewing, wall-crawling, goal-scoring, actual beauty from the Rocket League. This baby's got a history. It's played motor soccer tournaments, football tournaments successfully for years, right up until its owner bought a PS5 and got distracted. It is half the size of a football. Or maybe they're making footballs twice as big as cars nowadays. We don't know. It's hard to tell in the game. So come on down to Johnny Cars House of Cars and miniature golf renovation. We have a lot of product and next to no money. So do us a favor, huh?
Psst. Hey folks, before we go, come here a minute. I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of you who've been tuning into our show and sharing the love the past few weeks. Long may it continue. It's not easy to get a new show off the ground these days, and without you, the vault would be a sad and empty place. Nothing compares to you, our gaming compadres, our fabulous followers. I'm a fan of your work. So, if you have any ideas for the show, anything specific you'd like to see us do, guests you'd love us to interview, games you'd like us to play, don't be a stranger. Drop us a line. Get in touch. Tweet, comment below, all that good stuff. We're still looking for all of your retro gaming gear and gaming treasures as well. So if you want to send in those photos, we won't judge. This is a safe place. There is no such thing as lame when it comes to the love of the game. So you know where to find us to send it all. Usual suspects: Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. It's Games Vault TV. And of course, you can check us out on our main site, nexi.tv. All the links are there, plus you can sign up to our newsletter. That's it for this week, though. We'd like to thank our guest, Inel Tomlinson, for dropping by. Check him out on Twitter. Really hard to remember this. You ready? This is his ID. @Inel. I know, right? He got a 4-character username. I'm so jealous. Thank you to our sponsor, Johnny Cars, and biggest thanks of all go to you. Until next time, friends, I'm Chris Johnson. Game on.